Greetings from the Dulles International Airport in Virginia. Today is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. It is 5:26 a.m. Eastern Time, and outside it would be about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. We're just going to do a little walking tour. This is my first time I've been to the Dulles Airport, and anytime I visit a new airport, even though I only have like a 2-hour layover here, I still like to explore it and give a little tour of what it's about. So one thing to note about this, if you're watching this video, this particular video is starting in the D gates, and this map does a really good job of just outlaying how the airport's set up. So if you were arriving at the airport, meaning you were originating in Dulles, you'd be up here at the terminal where you would go through the west or east security checkpoint, and from there, if you look at it, connect to that, there's this little section called the Z gates. There's also a walkway to the Concourse A area or Concourse B area, so that's all one big long section. And then there's no walkway that goes to the D gates and C gates, those concourses. There's two modes of transportation that can be taken to navigate between these sections. So the blue line, if you follow that around, is the AeroTrain. So if we were starting in the terminal, you could take the AeroTrain. I believe it goes both directions. So you could take it over to the Concourse B, or you could take it to Concourse A and then follow through to Concourse C. Now, even though Concourse C and D are connected, the AeroTrain does not specifically form like a full circle to go to Concourse D. Like, there is no train that connects from here to here. You would think that would be like a future thing they could do, so that it makes the AeroTrain actually go to all four concourses instead of just three of the four. But instead of that, they have a shuttle that goes to Concourse D and connects either to Concourse A or goes to the main terminal area or close to the Z gates. So that appears to be like, I think that's just a ground bus, if I understand correctly. From what I gathered online, it seems like it would take a little bit longer to wait for the buses. This AeroTrain is supposed to be underground and takes should run every 2 minutes or so, so there's pretty good frequency to that. So what we're going to do for this video is we're going to start here at the end of the D gates. See, there's like gate D29, D30, D32. Right now, since it's early in the morning, these gates aren't occupied, but we're going to walk all the way through the D gates, and we'll see if we end up going all the way to the C gates. We'll check out some of the businesses that are there. I'm not sure, since it's early morning, they may not be quite open yet. But then we're going to take this walkway to the AeroTrain station, take that up to, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get off at the A gates and walk all of this. I might end up doing that, just get off at the A gates, like walk all of this, and then check out those Z gates. Again, we'll figure out how exactly we get there. So down at the end here, you have a real tiny, you also have a sparrow or bird flying around. Real tiny Market 1962 by Hudson. Also a Dunkin' Donuts.
Unattended baggage will be removed immediately for inspection and may be damaged or destroyed.
From what I gathered from my short time in Concourse D so far, looked like a very simple airport as far as it's not one of those newer ones with the super high ceilings and latest technology trends. But it did seem like there was a fair amount of dining options, and each gate has a decent amount of dedicated space to it. Look at that. These machines running on like an old version of Windows for these displays. Yeah, I'm going to be catching a connecting flight in the C gates, because my final destination is my annual work conference in New Orleans. There's a little Forbes store, a few book selections, and snacks. There's Wow Bayo, and on the left there's a full Pizza Hut bar, but again, that is currently not open. Maybe as we get closer to 6 a.m., some of these spots will open. Okay, so right here on, first off, this thing that's ahead of us, it says it takes you to the lower level, but there's a sign there that says like warning, you know, that's authorized personnel only, so that's not for the public. Right here, this is where one of the shuttles to the main terminal are located. I think over on this side is like shuttles to the main terminal, and then over there it's shuttles to the A and B gates. It appears though that the shuttles to the A and B gates doesn't start till 6:30 a.m. These ones I believe are currently open. There was when I was here earlier, there was like a few people waiting. See the line for the Starbucks. French Cuisine Bistro. This one's powered by Amazon technology, so it's where you probably scan your items yourself and then skip the checkout. Potbelly's open for the morning breakfast. After I end up concluding this video, I imagine some of these places will be open. Maybe Chick-fil-A. Let me check on my Google Maps real quick if it says, for example, when like Chick-fil-A will be open. Let's see, I click on Chick-fil-A and it says, well, unfortunately Google Maps does not show the hours for it, but on the right you do have Rusty Taco open. Some airports feature certain like unique exhibits, like mini museum gallery type attractions or murals or artwork. I've only been in the Concourse D so far prior to this video, but I haven't encountered anything like that yet, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes up. I mean, Here's one little thing. You got a nice little red, white, and blue illumination. Another Dunkin'. Union Kitchen. So we're still in Concourse D, but we're approaching the end of that, which is the middle portion that'll transition into Concourse C. For whatever reason, Pepsi has like some advertisements here on the right on all the, or most of the beams. There's a United for Veterans display over there. Capital Supply Company. And pizza. Sort of a unique setup. Not much depth to the business. Very narrow, but it's got the bar and table set up. So right where And Pizza is where the sea gates begin. And then you're starting at like the last of the sea gates, C28. So if you decide to walk like between the concourses, you have a connection, and you don't want to take a shuttle or other mode of transportation, you can see that, you know, it's truly a walk. It's not like there's moving conveyor belts that assist you along the way. And really, to get from D to C, I don't think there's really any other way to get to them quicker than walking. My gate in a couple hours will be C17. Gotta check the size of my plane, but this area here has like almost no seats. So maybe my plane's a small one or something. I didn't think it was small when I picked the flight, or, you know, looked at the seating map initially. Yeah, I've never seen so few seats at a gate than those ones. I don't know where it's coming from because I don't see an immediate food place near me, but there's like a strong food smell, which, you know, it's good food smell, but I don't know, maybe it's Be Right Burger, even though they're not open yet. Or I don't think they're open. On the left here, you also have Bagels and More, Cafe Bakery, Capital City Inc., IAD Express. So right in this area, I'm not gonna go here at the moment. We're gonna circle back here. But this appears to be where you would take the AeroTrain, take the escalators down, get you to the terminal or the gates. We'll peek at the map here again to confirm that before we check out the rest of the sea gates. Yeah, that's where we're at. So it says there's a little walkway to the AeroTrain station that we'll be taking. And when I walk back to the AeroTrain, I won't refilm this part. I'll like get to the end of the sea gates and say, all right, let's meet up back at that spot. That's why I wanted to make sure I showed that there initially. And then there's a currency exchange station up here. You're never going to get a good deal at the airport currency exchange stations. At least I don't think you will, from what I've seen in the past. Annie Ann's and Brookstone. So we're still sticking to the trend where there's really no exhibits here. And again, that's not like a big deal. It's just I like to compare airports. If you want to check out other airport videos I've done in the past, I have them from like the Salt Lake Airport, Denver, Harry Reid, Charlotte, parts of Chicago, parts of JFK, and a couple others. Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But usually in some of them you see like some type of, not just one, but like quite a few exhibits or galleries, if you want to. Yeah, the seating in all these Seagate ones seem to be quite limited still. Alright, and then I think I'm gonna stop just up ahead here because we're pretty much at the end. I mean, you can see gate C4, C3, and C1 far in the distance. There is one more. I think it's a food place. Devil's Backbone Brewing Company. Alright. Like I said, we're going to head back to where those gates, AeroTrain was located, and pick up the video from there. Alright, so we are back near gates C17, where we're going to try to take that AeroTrain over to the A gates, B gates, concourse. I did a Google search while I was waiting to try to get a vibe of any art at the airport. It looks like most of the art is located like in the main terminal. There is a neat looking Lego model of the Dulles airport, but I'm unclear if that is before the TSA checkpoint or after it. Probably before, so don't think we're gonna get to see a lot of that stuff. This is another thing to keep in mind if you're trying to make the connection to the different concourse. The length of the tunnel to get there. This one does have a little bit of a people mover. I don't know if you want to call this artwork really. There's some LED boards and some advertisements. In one of the AeroTrain, according to the online website, one of the AeroTrain stations, I think it said the one that connects to the B concourse, there's supposed to be like a model airplane hanging above. Alright, so over there on the left it says do not enter. I assume that's people who just arrived on the AeroTrain. Oh, so up ahead it says arriving in 2026 Concourse E. So maybe that will be you would imagine. I mean, if it's new, I would say be a modern station. We might have our first glimpse of some artwork here on the right coming up. I mean, there's also some art going down there for people arriving to this area. Connecting Hope mural. There's also a Red Tails Tuskegee Airman. Yeah, Concourse E looks like it'll be a bit more modern in the look and feel of it. Not necessarily a lot of gates to it, but that'll expand the airport. And you also have another montage. Alright, so now we've got the AirTrain, or AeroTrain, excuse me. Board here, so it's saying board on the left for gates A, B, etc. So that one's it's opening, but it says position closed. So I'm not going to go on there, assuming that that's true. Yeah, please do not board, it keeps repeating. So it should be about less than a 2-minute wait now. Let's see the tiny map that we have here. So we are currently right here, and we're going to be taking it over and getting off at the A gates, or you could stay on and get off at the terminal, or stay on again and get off at the B gates. Maybe we should do that to do a full... let me think here. Now we'll stick with it. We're going to get off at the A gates, walk all the way, and then maybe we'll take the AeroTrain B over here, and then that'll allow us to see this like weird little Z gate section. That sounds like a plan. And this little thing here tells you all which concourses the various airlines are located in. Oh, it gives you a little update up there. It says train arrives in 53 seconds. So I was going to cut the footage, but I guess we'll leave it rolling here.
Please stand clear of the door. The train is arriving. Please stand clear of the door. The train is arriving. Doors here for terminal, baggage, planes, ground transportation, and gate 7, B.
Again, another one of the maps. So
Please stand
C
clear of
gates,
the
and we're
doors.
headed to
The
the
doors are about
A
to
gates.
close.
Guess I'll go up front here so we can get a first-hand view of where we're headed. So the driver, assuming there's a driver, I mean maybe there's just an automated thing with it. I guess it could be without any driver. Gives you an idea how far it is between like Concourse C and Concourse A on the ground.
Please hold on. We are about to engage. Watch the step and exit.
So we're about to get off now. I think these doors on the... I guess either way you can exit.
This station serves all A.
Baggage, planes, ground transportation, and gate B.
And then if you did arrive at this station and you wanted to go to gates C and D, you would then take that train which went that way.
Doors here for terminal.
Or you would go here if you want to continue to B, H, and Z. I have seen H advertised a few times, but I don't know if there's actual H gates because it doesn't show up on the maps.
Please stand clear of the doors. The train is departing here for opposite gate.
So we have another artwork exhibit here. So if you're on your layover and you're looking like where are all these artwork exhibits, this one's called Wonder of Wonders. Be sure to head down by the AeroTrain. Alright. So it looks like you still have to take an escalator to get up to the A and B gates. Alright, so this concourse, you can already tell the different look and feel of it. Higher ceilings, you have the flags of the countries scattered throughout. At least over here, different seating. This is, I presume, an international wing or international concourse. Extreme PETA. And yeah, one of the gates on my right was going to Panama City. We'll see if it changes as we get further down, but not a lot of people here right now, so I mean that would make sense if there's fewer international flights arriving or departing early in the morning. Have a Dulles Dunkin' kiosk in the middle. You also have, like A31, there's escalators that go down there. I could see signs that mention customs. Looks like there's an airport chapel right here. Open 24 hours. escalators to get to gate C, D, H, and Z. So that presumably is another connection to the AeroTrain. And that's also the spot where the A gates end and we transition to the B gates, similar to when we saw D to C earlier. But again, this is just continuing the same look and feel as the A gates, all the country flags. Well, I don't know if you can see, but outside there it looks like one of the potential shuttle buses. Yeah, I probably not didn't get that picked up on the camera. There's the Washingtonian. Some of these gates have like little signages showing off. I guess not just some of them, but like, you know, over there too. They have pictures. I think it's of various local sites. So this looks to be like kind of a food court option. I mean, in the sense that they have tables in the middle. Five Guys might be getting ready to open. You can see a bunch of French fries in the bins. There's also another Potbelly, and that Chick-fil-A is open. So keep that in mind if you're an early arriver. Seating and a couple of popular restaurants over here in the B gate section. Not restaurants, but you know, dining options. We got another one of these mini shops, flag rolled, and no shortage of presidential related stuff. Could be the fact that I'm just walking for a bit now, but there feels like a distinct temperature difference between the D and C concourses versus this one. Like I am roasting in my jacket here. I wonder if this is where that airplane is, that model airplane. Yep, there it is. So this is also the AeroTrain station, but Dallas 87 is the identical twin of the aircraft that set the world record for the long-distance human-powered flight on April 23rd, 1988. Team of students, graduates, and faculty at MIT built the two planes in a quest to recreate the mythical flight of Daedalus and advance understanding of the limits of aerospace engineering. So there it is right there. How did a 70-pound airplane change aerospace? Then it goes on to, description to continue talking about it. So that's pretty cool. Seeing like a little model. Another thing you can check out if you have time to kill at the airport. So this would also, I think, be where you can catch the AeroTrain going to the terminal. So after I cover the rest of these B gates, I'll probably be headed back to this spot.
May I have your attention, please, in the terminal? This will serve as your final boarding call for American Airlines, American Eagle, Flight 5316, service to Charlotte, North Carolina. All passengers must be on board at this time through door number B73.
We'll board by groups. Please take note of your boarding group, which is printed on your boarding pass.
If you have a kid, you also have a little
Or you don't see a boarding group on your pass.
kids fun way.
CS boarding will begin shortly. Thank you for flying with us today.
American Airlines is page
A little NASA plane, some luggage, tires,
73. Shua, Jian,
more fun stuff.
Kozen,
Air traffic
Wadi,
control tower.
Counter, Vietnam. Final opportunity to board through door number B73.
Down this way you have a few more tables in the middle, so let's check out the dining options. Ben's Chili Bowl. Well, that's definitely a big footprint. There's also fresh, can't tell if it's freshy or fresh high or fresh two. And pizza over here, I think, is open or about to open. There's also Capitol Grounds Coffee. You've got a Washington Commanders Burgundy and Gold Club. So I guess you got a little sports bar vibe. And then that ends up wrapping it up for the B gates. So I'm going to go ahead and head back now to the train area. Alright, so we're getting back to where the AeroTrain will be. You can see passengers that are coming up the escalator, so they just got off. And one important question, because some airports do differ on this, believe it or not. Oh geez, I didn't realize when I took that picture before that sorry, I'm not going down there, I'm trying to show the wings, that the wings for this airplane extended out as far as they do. Yeah, when I was here, the glass was blocking that. Yeah, but as I was about to say, one important thing to note, because airports do differ on this when it comes to like trains that shuttle you between the terminals and such. If you're taking the AeroTrain to either browse around, you will not have to go through security, TSA again. You can keep riding the train and maneuvering around without having to go through it again. There are some places where, like, in order to take a train somewhere, like, you do have to pass through security again at some point, which is something to keep in mind if you're on a connection and thinking to yourself, like, oh, I'll just, I have plenty of time if I don't have to go through security again. But that won't be an issue at this airport. Now, once you take the AeroTrain to the actual terminal, which is the next stop that we're going to be going, then yeah, you don't want to, when you see the spots that says note you're leaving the security area, you don't want to walk past that. All right, I'm going to stop the video until we get to till the train arrives. So again, to remind you, initially we took the train starting off here, got off here. Now we walked this way and we're catching the train here, and we'll be taking it to the terminal. So we're not going to end up catching this link here, but when I get off here, don't walk this way if you're not trying to leave the terminal. Now, if you are trying to leave, yeah, you just walk this way. But we're going to check out these Z gates and then maybe the walkway tunnel, and then conclude the video from there. So here we go again, boarding the train once again. Oh, unfortunately, I got on this car instead of that one. That'll give a different perspective. Maybe we'll look out the side.
Please hold on. This train is departing. Next stop is the main terminal for baggage, flights, ground transportation, and connection to gate B, H,
Sure, later in the day, oftentimes these will be fairly crowded. You can see more people from the main terminal, which makes sense. You're going from TSA. I'm going to exit the other way. It feels more scenic. Yeah, more people boarding. So this is the terminal station for the gates. So this was probably my mistake. Again, not an issue, but I think there's escalators on the other side that might take you up. These escalators only go down, so I'm gonna have to take the stairs. Yep. Yeah, I think there's escalators right there that would have just taken you up. So over there is where TSA would be. You can also take escalators over there to baggage claim or ground transportation. Then here's the sign pointing to go to gates D, H, and Z. And that's what we want to see, the Z gate, since we haven't been there yet.
Se removerá inmediatamente tras su dirección y se no puede dañar o destruir. Por razones de seguridad, no acepte paquetes o bolsos que no le pertenezcan a usted.
Again, going that way appears to be baggage claim, so we don't have a need to go over there, although it does look like there might be some more like artwork exhibits down that way. Over here's gates D and H. There's a Hudson. Well, we're going to check out the Z gates first. So the Z gates are over here. Maybe this will show us a little bit on this map. Or not. Oh, there it is. Sorry. The pictures on earlier maps we were at were flipped. So yeah, we just got off, the AeroTrain station. We're headed to the Z gates. There's going to be this tunnel to go to A and B. So I guess that's what this would be, the walking tunnel. So we'll do that at the end. I still am unclear where these like supposed H gates are. But there are only 10 Z gates. And as you can see, maybe they're small planes. Again, very limited seating areas. I was wondering if there would be a dining option. There's a sign for Subway, which I didn't see in the other two concourse areas. But the Subway location is not open yet. They actually do have 3 small tables in there, 4 small tables if you want to eat inside. And then I think that's the end of this. So Z5 and Z6. There's no Z5 or whatever. Yeah, so if you're in this area and you just want to grab a Subway, or even if you're in the airport in general and craving Subway, that's where you go for that. I'm going to pick up the video again by that walkway tunnel. Alright, so we're back in the area where we're going to take I don't know, 1 second, hold on. The signage over here, before I take that walking tunnel, it's saying H gates still. Let's go. But then it's saying D and H. I'm so confused. Alright, it's saying H gates are on the right. I don't know, I ended up turning around. It just seems weird that there's no H gates on the map. And then when I peeked ahead, there was it could be nothing again. It seemed like there was 4 or 5 security guards just standing there, or TSA personnel. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna skip the H gate since it's not even on the map. So so let's go back and take this walking tunnel. I don't think there's going to be any artwork in here. At least I didn't see any mentioned on the website. But this will at least have pretty much hit on all of our bases for how to navigate the airport. I mean, a lot of it to me seems like a piecemealed construction of the airport, like multiple phases over time that were bridged together, so there's not like a feeling of unity among the whole airport. Next walkway is closed for maintenance. Looks like there might be a bit of a art gallery kind of randomly placed at the end of the tunnel here.
This is a special announcement. For security reasons, please keep your luggage and all packages with you at all times until they are checked. Unintended baggage will be removed immediately or
Arte
inspected
box.
and may be damaged or destroyed.
Unboxing art on your way.
Do not accept packages or bags that do not belong to you.
So I think this is trying to say it has a Portuguese artwork theme to all of them, or from its origins. And on most of these things, because of the lighting, you're just ending up seeing my shadow or reflection in the glass. Is that a Singer sewing machine? Okay, so let's take this escalator back up, and that should lead us right to the I think it would be the B gates, or the, you know, right in between the A and B gates. Big escalator. But if you enjoyed going along on this tour of the Dulles Airport, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. We're gonna finish the video right when we get to the top of this escalator. Normally I would walk a little faster up this, but with the luggage and still pretty roasting in this jacket, I'll just let the escalator do the work for me. Probably grab a quick bite to eat before because I still have to get back over to the C gates to catch my connection. That's like still like in an hour though. Yep, we will see you next time. It's daylight now, by the way. Before I sign off, let's take a real quick look. Is this like another? I think these are advertising stores and where you can shop for certain things. I was wondering at first whether it was like a gallery.